One of the guys who seems to be rising up draft boards, who has been tied to the Browns with that number 26 pick, Zaven Collins, linebacker from Tulsa, had a chance earlier to talk to his head football coach, Philip Montgomery from Tulsa, and he says Collins is really just scratching the surface of his talent.
And you got to remember, in high school, he was a quarterback and a free safety. He's only been playing linebacker for a handful of years here, and his ceiling is still way up there. He's still got a lot to learn, play with his hands better, understand what defenses or offenses are trying to do to him, understanding where he's dropping into coverage, being more effective in his rush techniques. He's still got a lot of growing to do, yet he's got all the tools in his belt. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's very intelligent, and he's going to take care of his business on and off the field. So to me, he's a guy that you bring into your locker room, and he makes everybody around him better.
Let's welcome Jeff Risdon of BrownsWire.com back into the show. And Jeff, when you hear, obviously, coach is going to say good things about him, but you look at a guy like Collins and that versatility where he can drop, he can be used as an edge rusher. It seems to be something Andrew Berry likes.
Oh man, there's just so much to like about what Zaven Collins brings to the table. He can do a little bit of everything, and one of the things that you get when you have a player that hasn't played there in his whole life, he doesn't have the bad habits. He never learned the lazy things from being the best player in middle school as a linebacker. Now, this was a guy who was playing quarterback back then. He's learning the way that they wanted him to be taught. And I think that that sort of flattens the learning curve for him, honestly, the fact that he came to that position so late. He's a really, really good prospect. He's an exciting guy. He is the most mocked player, most projected player to the Browns at number 26. And it's easy to see why, because he can play that Olivier Vernon role if you ask him to. He can also play the old Joe Schobert role if you want him to, or the B.J. Goodson role from last year. If they're looking for somebody to do that, if you can get all those things in one package, my goodness. And the way he worked out at his pro day, there's very little doubt that he can handle the athleticism jump from Tulsa and the conference they were in to playing in the NFL. He is a legit NFL starter right away. And his ceiling is very, very high. It could be higher than some of the linebackers and pass rushers who wind up getting taken before him.